Miss Kaylee here, and we are on Unit 9, Session 2 today. And we are in the book of Judges, chapters 13 through 16 today. And remember, last week we talked about Israelites' cycle of sin, and we're going to continue talking about that today. Specifically, we'll be talking about Samson. And Samson is one of the leaders, one of the judges God allows to be raised up to release the Israelites from their slavery and from their suffering. And something interesting about Samson is that he struggles with sin, but God still gives him the gift of strength. And something you'll see, a pattern throughout today's story, is that Samson struggles with sin and it leads him down a destructive path, and it ultimately leads to his death. But the amazing thing is that God uses Samson's life and death for his good, for his purpose, for his plan. And the Israelites are actually released from their bondage of slavery and from their suffering because of Samson's death and how God uses it. And that reminds me of the story of Jesus and his death on the cross and how God uses that death to release us from our bondage of sin and from our suffering from sin. And it allows us to have a relationship with God. So you'll see the similarities between those two stories. And I can't wait for you to learn more about Samson and more about Judges 13 through 16 today. Enjoy!
Hi everybody, my name is Megan.
And my name is Jessie.
Jessie, what is that dumbbell for?
Oh, you mean this very heavy weight here?
Yes, that one.
I wanted to show you how strong I am getting. Watch this. Well, maybe this weight is just a little bit too heavy.
Maybe so. Yeah, it's 7 pounds.
How did you do that, Megan?
Well, I'm pretty strong myself, Jessie. But today's Bible story is about a man named Samson who was very strong.
Could he lift heavy weights?
Oh yes, he knocked down a building with his bare hands. Let me tell you the story. God's people kept getting into trouble. They disobeyed God again and again. Each time, God let their enemies have power over them. Now the Israelites were being ruled by the Philistines. One day, the angel of the Lord spoke to two of God's people. He said that they were going to have a son who would save Israel from the Philistines. God had special instructions for their son. He should never cut his hair. The woman had a baby and she named him Samson. God made Samson very strong. When Samson grew up, he met a woman named Delilah. Samson fell in love with her. The Philistine leaders wanted to know why Samson was so strong, so they asked Delilah to help them find out. Delilah asked Samson, "Why are you so strong?" Samson said, "If you tie me up, I will be weak." But that was not true. Delilah tied up Samson. When she said, "Samson, the Philistines are here to get you," Samson broke free. Delilah asked Samson again, "Why are you so strong?" Samson told Delilah, "If you weave my hair into a loom, I will be weak." But that was not true. Delilah wove Samson's hair into a loom. When she said, "Samson, the Philistines are here to get you," Samson broke free. Delilah begged Samson to tell her the truth, so Samson did. "If you cut my hair, I will be weak." When Samson was sleeping, a Philistine man came and cut his hair. Delilah woke up Samson. "Samson," she said, "the Philistines are here to get you." But Samson was not strong anymore. The Philistines grabbed him and took him away in chains. Over time, Samson's hair began to grow back. One day, the the Philistines made Samson stand between two columns in their temple. Samson cried out to God, and God made Samson strong again. Samson pushed on the columns, and the temple fell down. Samson and everyone in the temple died, but Samson had saved God's people from the Philistines. Samson died because of his sin, but God used Samson's death to help his people. Samson reminds us of Jesus. Jesus never sinned, but he died for our sin. Jesus died and rose again to rescue God's people from sin and give them life with God forever.
The Israelites were God's people, but they were stuck in a pattern of ignoring God, being attacked by enemies, and then calling out to God to rescue them. When the Israelites ignored God again, God let their enemies, the Philistines, rule over them. One day, the angel of the Lord spoke to a man and his wife. The angel said that they would have a son, and their son would save God's people from the Philistines. God had special instructions for their son. He should never cut his hair. The couple had a baby boy, and they named him Samson. God made Samson strong. When Samson grew up, he decided he wanted to marry a Philistine woman. Samson and his parents went to meet her. Along the way, a lion jumped out, and Samson killed the lion. Later, bees made honey in the lion's body. Samson ate some of the honey and gave some to his parents. When Samson got married, he told a riddle to a group of Philistines at the wedding. Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. The riddle was about the lion and the honey, but the Philistines could not figure it out. They asked Samson's bride for help. She told the men the answer. Samson was angry, and he left without his wife. When he went back to get her, she was gone. Samson ran away to another city, where he fell in love with a woman named Delilah. The Philistines wanted to know why Samson was so strong, so they gave Delilah money to help them find out. Samson told Delilah, "If you tie me up, I will be weak." But that was not true. Then Samson said, "If you weave my hair into a loom, I will be weak." Again, this was a lie. Finally, Samson told Delilah the truth. "If you cut my hair, I will be weak." So when Samson was sleeping, a Philistine came and cut his hair. Samson wasn't strong anymore. The Philistines grabbed him, and they took him away in chains. One day, the Philistines made Samson stand between two pillars in their temple. Samson cried out to God, "Lord, strengthen me once more." So God strengthened Samson. Samson pushed on the pillars and collapsed the temple. Samson and everyone in the temple died. But Samson had saved the Israelites from the Philistines. Samson's sin led to his own death, but God used his death to save the Israelites from their enemies. Samson's story reminds us of Jesus. Jesus never sinned, but God sent him to die on the cross and rise again to rescue people from sin and give them eternal life.